Hello folks, welcome back to another video. Hope you're all doing well. It's been a while since my last one that wasn't about the GR11. So this time I am still on the quest for the perfect hiking shoe. I got very close with the Topo Mountain Racer 3 that I used in Spain. This time I'm going to be talking about the Topo Traverse and comparing it to the Mountain Racer 3 and my experience of that. But yeah, the Mountain Racer 3, I really enjoyed using that. I found the grip to be fantastic. The comfort was superb. I had very few issues with it in 600 miles. If you're interested, go and check the review out and see how I got on with it. But this is going to be, as I say, about the Topo Athletic Traverse. Little disclaimer, these were bought for me as a Christmas present from a family member, so I didn't pay for them, but that's not gonna affect my review in any way. And I don't have anything to do with Topo Athletic. This is also from a hiking point of view, and this is actually designed to be a hiking and backpacking shoe. So these aren't designed for trail running. I'm sure you probably could trail run in them if you wanted to, but no, they're designed, their purpose is specifically for hiking and backpacking. So let us dive in and have a look at some of the features on the shoes. So to start with, this is my normal size, it's a UK 11. I will say to start with, I haven't used these a great deal so far. I've only got like a couple of overnighters on them. So I can't give a detailed review of how they are at the moment. My very first impressions are that they are a slightly tighter fit than the Mountain Racer 3 that I used in the same size. And they're a lot more, what's the right word, rigid or supportive. There's not as much flex in them, there's not as much give. That is due to some of the design features on the shoe, and we'll go through those shortly. As I say, it is designed as a hiking shoe. It's targeted at the Thru-Hiker. It's got the same Vibram Mega Grip sole as the Mountain Racer 3. So you've got these huge great lugs on there that really do dig in and bite. Provided me with brilliant traction on wet and dry surfaces, on mountain trails, so I have no complaints whatsoever about the sole. I've got experience of this exact sole on the Mountain Racer 3, and I can attest to the fact that it is fantastic. So that is pretty much where the similarities end with the Mountain Racer 3. It does have the sole in common and a couple of other little things, but apart from that, it's technically a very different shoe. So the Mountain Racer 3, the stack height at the heel is 33 millimeters, and the stack height at the front is 28 millimeters. It's got quite a good deal of cushioning in there. This Traverse, the stack height at the heel is 30 millimeters. So that's 3 mil less, and at the forefoot it's 25 millimeters. So that's another 3 mil less. Still gives you an overall 5 mil drop, which I've found has worked really well for me so far. But yeah, there's not as much cushioning in this as the Mountain Racer 3. This does have a rock plate added in the forefoot, whereas the Mountain Racer 3 doesn't. And I did say that you can feel, if you step on something sharp and pointy or jagged with the Mountain Racer 3, if you step on that in the wrong way or at the wrong point, you can feel it through the shoe. This rock plate in here is obviously very solid, being a plate, and that's going to take away some of the ground feel. It's also going to protect you from anything pointy getting in the bottom of your foot, hopefully. As I said before, the Mountain Racer 3 is classed as a high cushion shoe. This is classed as a medium cushion shoe. So if you're looking for a very plush and comfy ride, this probably isn't going to be the shoe for you. I am looking forward to testing it out. As I say, I've not had a lot of time with it at the moment, but I am hoping to get this out on an 80-mile trail in the not too distant future. And obviously after that, I'll be able to report back as to how it's performed for me on there. Response, the Mountain Racer 3 was really responsive. You could feel the ground feel through that was brilliant, which was one of my complaints about the Ultra Olympus that I used. It felt very clunky. There wasn't a great deal of ground feel. The Mountain Racer 3 is very responsive. This, Topo call it a more balanced performance rather than responsive. So I think that means, obviously due to the rock plate and a couple of other design features, it's not going to be as responsive. I'm hoping there's still going to be a decent amount of ground feel through there, but yeah, the jury's out on that one. I'll have to wait and see on that. The Mountain Racer 3, very flexible, I would say. A neutral support, as Topo calls it. This, they call it a stability support. Sorry, support, not support. Stability support. So this is a lot more rigid. It offers a lot more support to your feet. Obviously, in mind for backpacking, you're probably going to have a pretty heavy backpack on, or a backpack, and this is designed to give you a little bit more support where you need it. We've said before, the Vibram Mega Grip is exactly the same on here. These lugs really are big as well. They are nice and chunky, and the Mountain Racer 3 ones lasted me a good 600 miles before. I could have squeezed a little bit more out of them if I'd wanted to, but the performance was starting to degrade a bit. The midsole, they've got Topo's proprietary zip foam in here. Now on the Mountain Racer 3, it's a zip foam midsole which is quite spongy, and it provides some nice rebound in there. This one on here is a multi-density midsole, so it's slightly different. It's a 3-piece construction, and again, that is going to be interesting to see if I can notice much of a difference with that. And one of the other differences is the actual insole that comes with the shoe. The Mountain Racer 3, one of its Achilles heels, if you like, is the insole and it taking a long time to dry out. Now, these ones have got Topo's own, they call it the FKT insole, and it is closed cell foam construction. And if you can make out, it's got these, I don't really know what to call them, these like bobbles or bubbles, nodules on there. It does say on there, water resistant, high rebound foam. It's going to be really interesting to find out if they do make a big difference, because the little time I've worn them, you can feel the bobbles. You can definitely feel the bubbles and bobbles, whatever you want to call them. Let's call them bobbles. You can feel the bobbles when you've got the shoe on. But obviously, I want to get the shoes wet and see if there's a drying time difference. Inside the shoe, hopefully you can make out, there's kind of like little holes, receptacles, I guess, for the bobbles, possibly. I'm not sure, maybe not. Maybe I'm just being stupid with that, but who knows. But yeah, I've seen good things written about this insole online, and it may be that if the insole proves to be as good as I'm hoping, and it's not going to be absorbing a lot of water, it may be that I pick a pair of these up separately, if that's possible, and stick them in some Mountain Racer 3s. Possibly. We'll see. I am a little bit apprehensive about these shoes, I'll be honest. I am hoping they're not going to be too rigid for me. I do like a bit of flex and a bit of give with my shoes, but we shall see. One of the other differences is on here, on the inside of the shoe, you've got these 3 drain points or vents here. And I'll be honest with you, I can't remember if the Mountain Racer 3 had them. I don't think it did. But my pair have gone to the big shoe shop in the sky. They got binned a while ago because they were absolutely trashed. Standard features, you've got your gaiter attachments for the Topo gaiter on the back there. You've got this big pull tab to help you get the shoe on. I am guessing if you want to use your own gaiters, you could probably attach a piece of Velcro or hook and loop on the back there to stick them to. You've got the tiny, I wish they'd make it a bit bigger. I know it's for their own gaiters, but please just make that loop maybe half as big again for the gaiter attachment. On the tongue, you've got 2 attachment points for the laces. One thing that nearly always happens with me with shoes, when I've got shoes on, the tongue always slides down to the side like that. And that hasn't happened with the Mountain Racer 3. And I doubt it's going to happen with this as well because of that attachment, that double attachment there with the laces. You've got a nice, hard, chunky toe bumper protection all the way around, starting there and coming all the way around there, and it goes quite high up on the top of the shoe as well, which is nice. This tight woven mesh upper is breathable and yet quite strong as well, and I believe that's supposed to dry quite well as well. And obviously you've got the Vibram logo there. So yeah, UK 11. Weight-wise, the Mountain Racer 3 was 328 grams in a UK 11 per shoe, which equates to 11.57 ounces. This Traverse is slightly heavier at 355 grams in a UK 11 per shoe, which is 12.52 ounces. Now, again, that's what, 27 grams difference, 27 grams heavier for the rock plate. So whether that's going to make a huge difference or not, I really don't know. I can't see it making a big difference for me. If you were a trail runner, possibly. But for me, hiking with them, I don't think it's going to make a great deal of difference for me. But yeah, that is pretty much all I can say at the moment about them. They are quite low cut here on the side for your ankle bone. I have quite bony ankles, and I didn't experience any problems with the Mountain Racer 3 interfering with my bony ankles. I'm trying to get back into trail running myself. I used to do a lot a few years ago, and I want to start again. And I bought a pair of Scott Kinabalu 2, I think they are. They were only cheap, they were like 40 quid. And I've been out in them like 4 or 5 times, and the tongue is like ridiculously rigid. It's like steel right at the top here. And what they've done is they've dug into my ankle and bruised my ankle. So now I'm selling them. I'm getting rid of them because I can't wear them. They're too painful. These are nice and soft, and there's a good bit of give in there as well. So they're nice and padded. There's definitely no steel-like tendencies in the tongue. So that's good news. Anyway, there we go. That is the Topo Traverse. Is it going to live up to my expectations? Is it going to beat the Mountain Racer 3 for me? Well, stick around and find out in the next video that I put up about these. We shall have a verdict. Until then, guys, take care of yourselves and happy trails.